What's up? Welcome back to the Anonymous Toy Collectors. Dreadnought Ryan here. And Yojo June was just full of absolute Joe goodness. Well, July with San Diego Comic-Con just continued. The Joe team at the G.I. Joe brand itself just loaded for bear for this particular San Diego Comic-Con. Got a ton of stuff to go over, so let's go ahead and get started. Big shout out to the Hasbro team, John, Tony, Lenny, and of course Emily. Great to see you guys produce for that panel. Big shout out to my boy Travis Moody of Toy Kind of Mood, who was able to share that information with us on his Instagram account. MCU Collector as well too. Another big shout out to Chaz the Guru for sharing his interactions with the Joe team as well. A lot of great news, of course, and then seeing some of the amazing photos from folks like shooting the gallery, who's been doing a lot of the Joe product figure photography and is just absolutely killing it. He also does some of the Marvel stuff as well. Just all the folks who shared all of the information from San Diego Comic-Con to keep all of us Joe fans in the loop. True, I just want to say a big thank you from all of us. We couldn't have done it without you guys. And just thanks for sharing all this stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. So name-only pipeline reveals for Hasbro. We know we are now going to get Jinx, Torch, which we knew we were going to get because we've already seen the renders for the other Dreadnoughts. And then, of course, Retro Duke and Retro Scarlet. That's nice. We'll get some throwbacks to the retro carded figures, as well as we know what Scarlet should look like, just seeing the renders for Glenda. I would expect for us to get a retro Cobra Commander at some point, since we are getting the Mickey Mouse version. And then maybe one more retro carded figure. So more to come on that. Let's see what else we have. We know that the Hasbro Con exclusives were going to be, of course, Chuckles for San Diego Comic-Con, and now we know for PulseCon it's going to be the Crimson Strike pack. But what we did get to see at Comic-Con is actually the production sample for these particular figures. They will come with 3 figure stands, a number of different accessories, knives, guns, pistols, everything that you could want. The snake from the original Baroness bike, as well as what looks to be a mask and an extra head for Baroness. Just seeing the color patterns that they've added, since these are all just redecoed figures. I do love the black, the silver, the crimson, and the gold. Just really makes these particular figures pop. Again, if you are not a fan of the Crimson Strike pack, this will be a PulseCon exclusive, so something that you can skip since these are repaints. But I will definitely try to pick these up. Hopefully Hasbro has learned after what we went through with Mindbender and Serpentor to make sure there's enough product in hand so that any of the Joe collectors who want to pick these up can get them. Next up, I don't know if this was an oops or what, but we did find out we are going to get some mid-sized vehicles, which that in itself is awesome. That means that we're going to be able to see more world building. That's a shout out to you, Ken, from Toy Connections. We do get the Vamp, which will come with Clutch, a number of different accessories with it. John Warden, who is the overall brand manager for the Joe team, did explain that Lenny did future-proof this vehicle, which is a hint, hint, wink, nod, that we should see this particular sculpt used multiple times. So let's call out the Vamp Mark II, the Stinger, and then possibly Heart Wrencher with her version of this Vamp as well. Clutch does still stick to the same OG-13 style that we've seen so far with Classified, so he should fit in quite well with Grunt. He'll have 2 different helmets, the shotgun, of course, from CoverGirl, as well as the generic pistol that we've seen a number of different times with the G.I. Joe figures. You will get the gas cans, a wrench, an axe, a fire extinguisher, and the shovel. And then, of course, the gun on the back does look to have a nice ammo belt fed and what looks to be almost handles on the back. So it makes you wonder if you'll be able to somehow stand a figure back there. Of course, for Cobra, not to be outdone, we will get the SMS with the Techno Viper. This particular item will be able to be pulled by your HISS tank. Again, with now knowing we have a Vamp, we'll probably get a Mark II as well. So that should be able to allow, if you didn't get the HISS tank, you can get the Stinger or the Mark II for the Joe team. But for the Stinger, you should be able to hook the SMS behind it and be able to tow that particular item. With this SMS, I'm hoping we do get a retro style Hawk and the OG green so that we can pull this behind the vamp as well. For Target exclusives, we do know that we are going to get the Python Patrol Cobra Officer. Again, comes with the same accessories that came with the original Officer. It does have an extra head sculpt so that you can switch your officers around, giving you more options if you are a troop builder. And then, of course, the Python Patrol Copperhead. These figures with Tiger Force or Python Patrol, it's nice that they are exclusives, but they're a sub team. So if you're not a big Python Patrol fan or Tiger Force fan, you're not losing out for a mainline release. I will probably just pick up one of each of these figures just because I want to have a complete collection. But if you're not interested, you're not really losing out on anything. Next, we did get to see some of the upcoming Joe renders. Of course, Agent Helix, which does have a mix of some older accessories as well as some new accessories. I do like the style that they have put out for this particular Helix. It looks like the Helix that we've seen with some of Larry Hama's latest issues of the G.I. Joe comic, and of course matching up to, I believe it was either the 30th or the 50th anniversary where we did get Agent Helix in figure form. General Hawk is a throwback to the 86 General Hawk. He will have two different sets of goggles. One, of course, you can put over the head of the figure, and then one that will fit on top of the helmet. He does get reuse from a number of accessories. Again, the shotgun from CoverGirl. Looks like the grenade launcher that came with the retro Gung Ho, and then, of course, a couple pistols. Shockwave, which we will also see Shockwave in the Night Force version, which is the Walmart exclusive, does come with the riot shield, a baton, a couple knives, and a couple machine pistols. Shockwave was always a favorite of mine, and I definitely can't wait to get him in the collection as well as the other two figures. The biggest reveals, though, for me, are the Dreadnoughts. And absolutely, Lenny and company killed it with these two figures. Love the way that Ripper looks. I love the way that Buzzer looks. I can't wait to see these in production samples. I'm praying that we get to see them at PulseCon, and then we can get these bad boys ordered. I'm hoping that 2024 is truly the year of the Nox. Bring us on more. We want Road Pig. We want Zayna. We want Zanzibar. I want them all. Naugahyde. Let's get Thrasher and the Thunder Machine. Please give me Dreadnoughts. But overall, the figures look awesome. I do like the inclusion of the accessories. The bat with the saw blades on them for Buzzer is pretty cool. Of course, the Jaws of Life for Ripper is a nice callback to the figure from the A Real American Hero days. We did also get to see some pretty cool pictures again for Agent Chuckles. This particular figure, you had to have a QR code to be able to order it, which had a one-time use code. So hopefully this means that this figure will go up on Hasbro Pulse. So folks who were not able to attend San Diego Comic-Con, of course, can add this particular figure. I do like all the additional accessories that it comes with. They did tie it into the PulseCon exclusive for the Crimson Strike Team. So that's awesome that you can tie these two stories together and get a better understanding of, how Chuckles got his ass whooped and what he was able to steal from Extensive Enterprises, the Crimson Twins, and the Baroness. We did also see what the 788 Fire Team looks like. And these figures are fire. I like the inclusion of the Night Viper. Why can't I think? I apologize. As well as the Cobra troopers that go with it, the Range Viper. And I think these are just awesome figures to include. I love the colors as well as they do pop really nice, and they will come with a ton of different accessories. So that allows folks to be able to really kind of personalize and add some great stuff for some Dio pictures. And of course, if you were, one of the folks who did get the his tank, just gives you some more troops that you can put along with it. So really excited to get this particular item ordered. I do like the pictures. Again, you can see that dragonfly tail shoved into the ground after they took them out with the bazooka. We also did get to see what the packaging will look like for the HISS tank, as well as some of the final production models for the figures. Again, I think this is just going to be really cool. I like the packaging. And to think we're going to be able to get a classified sized HISS tank, and then next year we'll have a classified sized Dragonfly. It's just such a great time to be a G.I. Joe fan. Hopefully we can get to continue, of course, now that we know we have a Vamp and an SMS coming as well too, to continue to build out our ranks. One figure that really blew me away, Tripwire is one of those figures back in the day where you either loved him or you hated him. I really love Tripwire. But this particular version of him, he is in a deluxe, so he's going to be more expensive than the normal $24.99 for the Joe figures. But again, with the amount of accessories that you get with Tripwire, it just absolutely blew me away. 2 different vests, 2 different helmets. You get the McCloud robot, you get the rat, you get, you know, the remote control, you get his mine sweep, you get the mines. It was just overload on the amount of accessories that do come with this particular figure. But it will allow you to really personalize your Tripwire if you want to go more OG style, or you want something more, you know, modern, like the Hurt Locker or any of those, you know, bomb disposal techs. I'm only trying to figure out if I can find some extra hands and maybe cut some fingers off, or as my boy Travis Moody, you know, said, hey, let's put a Hawkeye head from the MCU on there. Then you could really have a nice Kit Bash figure. So I think with this particular, you know, inclusion of Tripwire, I do think that the Joe team knocked this one out of the park. Of course, then we did get to see, you know, we did get to see the male Steel Corps or Steel Brigade. Sorry, I'm going to call them Steel Brigade because they are always Steel Brigade to me. Figures, you will be able to order them on July 24th. This is a great 2-pack troop builder. It's all reuse of parts, so not a lot of new tooling. We do get the jetpack, so, you know, maybe we do get a retro stalker with the jetpack. I don't know. Maybe we get, you know, the jump jetpack for G.I. Joe. You know, all of this stuff is tooled out, so I think it just allows Lenny and team to really continue to build out the brand as they move forward. But again, this will be available, I believe, on all fan channels starting on July 24th. And then after the panel, they revealed this. That's right. We are getting Mutt and Junkyard. As with Snake Eyes and Timber, this will come with extra heads for Junkyard, as well as Junkyard will come with a handle bulletproof vest. Mutt will come with the mask that hooks over his helmet, as well as a number of different hands for giving signals to the dog. He will also have an AR-style machine gun, goggles, all of that good stuff, the baton. Just, they really kitted out Mutt and Junkyard. I think these just look absolutely amazing. And again, we saw production samples of these, so sometime soon I'm hoping we'll be able to get these pre-ordered. I can't wait to get both of these guys into my collection. We did also see another Python Patrol, which is the Python Patrol Ninja, which is basically a repaint of the Snake Eyes movie. Snake Eyes movie figure, or what we had for the Blue Ninja, with just some added changeable head and some new accessories. And then, of course, Tiger Force Flint. I know there was some different feedback on the Tiger Force Flint with the you know, how his eyes are painted. I think it kind of looks different and cool. I like the fact that he comes with a different weapon as well. The only thing is not changing out that the vest is kind of concerning because he doesn't have a shotgun anymore. So I don't know. I would have loved to have seen them take that vest off and then just kind of give him the loadout he has. That might be something I may do when I pick this particular figure up. Let's bring that back to SuperSeven. SuperSeven, again, they did release their newest wave of Ultimates, which you'll get a Crimson Guard, Major Blood, Roadblock, and CoverGirl. We also did get a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Red Jackal and Crimson Baroness. So any of the folks who are Ultimate fan collectors, the G.I. Joe line continues for them. SuperSeven also teased a Cobra airship, as well as Trouble Bubbles for the Reaction line. They also did have a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Reaction line from one of the G.I. Joe cartoons. I believe it was for the Weather Dominator. But I may be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I am. But I think it's just cool to see that Brian Flynn and company are looking to expand the range of Reaction. I really hope that Hasbro, since they're not doing the O-rings anymore, let SuperSeven run with it. Let's give our O-ring buds a chance to pick up some new figures as well, too. Not to be outdone, 1/6 scale. The fact that we are seeing so many different Joe licenses being used is just absolutely amazing. And now we do get I believe these are 3-0, Cobra Commander and Destro. So these are the 1/6 scale figures that were shown at San Diego Comic-Con. So that's awesome to see. Not Jada Toys. Diamond Select also has a couple different statues that are out there. So this is the Joel Colton fighting a giant Cobra snake. So fans of the statues, another cool thing to pick up if you are a older Joe fan. Those 1/12 or the Action Man type of figures. Just a nice callback to a retro styled figure. And then of course Mezco, not to be outdone, they did show Duke, which will be the newest Mezco figure, as well as the Storm Shadow and the kitted out Roadblock. Both these figures, I'm sure all three of these figures look absolutely amazing. And I know for some of the folks who picked up these Mezco figures, they have been nothing but impressed with them. So, like I said, it is a great time to be a G.I. Joe fan. So many different avenues to pick up some great figures. But let me know what you guys thought about the reveals. I know for some folks, it's like, we just made it through Yo-Joe June. All of those pre-orders. We have the newest wave of Joes hitting, the 60 and 70 range of figures that are all starting to hitting, and then we're doing more pre-orders. Hopefully we can get to the point where when you're doing the pre-orders, we can plan a little bit better, get better windows of when stuff will be available, so that, for all of us, we don't just, wallet assassinate ourselves to the point of just having too much stuff on pre-order. But overall, I thought San Diego Comic-Con was absolutely amazing. Again, I would love just a little bit of a breather from the Joe team, at least until we get to Hasbro PulseCon. But we know we'll see more reveals, more renders coming down the pipe, and then hopefully some more name-only reveals as we move into 2024. I know Lenny did say that he is already working on 2025. And thanks again to Chaz the Guru, who did share on Instagram when he did get to talk to Lenny. He did not, the way he explained it is the Thunder Machine won't really have to be a HasLab. So hopefully that means that we'll get to see that as a retail release, and continue to see more dream type vehicles as HasLabs instead of stuff that we should just be able to get either from Hasbro Pulse or for some of the online retailers. So let's get this all wrapped up. What a week, San Diego Comic-Con. I think it's just time to breathe. Don't forget, we'll have some probably pre-orders starting on the 24th. Again, thanks everybody for the support of the Island of Misfit Toy Collectors. You guys are all great. Hope you're having a great morning, day, night, wherever you're at on the island. And more importantly, Dreadnought rule. Out.